Hello my fellow Christian fiction lovers, welcome to another video. Today I am going to be updating my reading journal for 2022 in which I am charting every book that I'm reading and some general facts about them and my thoughts on them. I'll show you a typical entry and I'm also going to be making the title page for June. But yeah, and maybe we'll just chat about life a little bit. This is not something anybody asked about, but I love watching these types of videos and getting inspiration from them. If I had the time and dedication, I would 100% do one of those tracking journals where you track habits and what are those called? Oh my gosh, bullet journals. I think they're called bullet journals or something like that, but I adore watching those videos, especially the ones on TikTok and stuff. But anyway, I don't have time for that. This is my mini attempt at doing a reading journal this year. I have kind of failed to keep up with it. Sometimes I'll just go in and do the whole month in one sitting. At the end of the month I will just update the whole month, all the books that I read, because I can't be consistent with doing it every book. I just forget and stuff. But anyway, this is my title page for May. I just want to show you my title page for April because it's really pretty. This is my title page for April. I really did the theme of, what is it, April showers brings May flowers. I think it's that or something. I love that little saying. It's so cute, and so I borrowed it, I guess. So my last entry for May was The Master Craftsman by Kelly Stewart, which I think I've read one or two books since then, but what I do is I go to Goodreads on my phone because that has all the stats on the books. Yes, I've read 2 books since then, and then I will put them in my journal, and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so I grab a ruler just to get straight lines, but basically I do 6 by 9 rectangles, and those are mini book covers, if that makes sense. Okay, so after I've created the rectangle, you guys can see I just fill in the title, and then each month I do different I guess pattern designs within the book. So let's see, what month was this? In March I just did solid lines like that, but horizontally. But this month I am doing squiggly lines vertically down on either side of the title. So I'm gonna write that out now. And I always pick the colors of the lines that I do based on the cover of the book and those colors. So the book I'm doing right now, Beneath a Golden Veil by Melanie Dobson, and this has kind of a purple gold, purple orange, amber type of aesthetic to it, I guess, just cover art. So those will be the colors I'm using. Okay, so there is the mock book cover. You guys can see the entry above it, so I mean you see what we're working towards. And then just beside it I write down the author, pages, the rating I give it, and the dates that I read it. So for this book, the author is Melanie Dobson. It had 389 pages in it. My rating for it was 3.5 stars, and the way I do it is I write it in numbers, so 3.5, and then I do it in stars. So I've kind of figured out a 1/4 star, a 1/2 star, and then 3/4 of a star. And next we will have the dates that I read Beneath a Golden Veil, and it took me forever. So let's see. And that's why I have Goodreads open, is because I track very accurately on Goodreads. I was reading Beneath a Golden Veil from the 7th through the 25th. And the reason for that, I will add, is because I took a week break from reading this book when I went on a trip, and I took a different book, which I'm going to journal next. But that's the reason for that. It doesn't normally take me almost 20 days to read a book. That's not normal. It takes me a week. And then after I've filled in those little facts, I add my thoughts on the book. And this can get hard when I have taken a while to get to journaling. And so I've forgotten some of my thoughts, but thankfully it hasn't been too long since I finished this book, so I can remember enough to jot down some things. I just did it for the last book, The Master Craftsman, but if the author who wrote the book, if it's the first time that I've read that author, in the top corner I will write NA for new author, and this year, it's the first time I'm doing this, I'm tracking how many new authors I read because I want to make sure that I'm opening myself up to other authors and other genres or whatever. I'm not tracking the genres specifically. I think next year I'm going to do that, but I am making sure I track the new authors so that I don't get stuck in a rut of reading the same thing, basically. Not that reading all of the same authors is bad, but it's just not what I want for my reading habits. So anyway, there we go with that. That is the finished entry, and then the next one, so I've done this one on this side, I'll do the next one over here, and I just go back and forth. I will take care of that entry now, and I won't walk through the whole thing, but we'll see if I have some time to just chit-chat. While I do this, I actually kind of want to do a mini review of the book that I'm journaling, and that is The Distant Hours by Kate Morton. This is the third Kate Morton book I have read now, and I loved it. It was a 5-star read for me. All of her books so far have been 5-star reads for me. I am just blown away by them, like so shocked and amazed with each new one I read. Like, where did she come up with that? It's so beautiful and shocking. So the thing about her books, and I think I've explained this before, is that you just have these moments when reading that you have no other way to process the information except to just sit with it. Like, literally just sit with it, not even necessarily looking at the book, but just kind of processing, you know? And I guess that's just the way I kind of handle really shocking information, is I just have to sit with it and think about it for a minute. And I've had to do that with all of her books, but this one specifically, like, there were quite a few shocking plot twists in the last part of the book, but the last sentence of the last chapter, not the epilogue, but the last sentence of the last chapter of that book, I have not been that stunned by a book since I read the first Kate Morton book I read, which I think is called The House at Riverton or something. I was honestly sickened by it because of what it meant for the story, and you won't understand what I'm saying unless you read it, because I am not a believer in spoilers. This is not really a spoiler, this is just my opinion. Okay, so now I've done that, and I am going to move on and create a title page for June. I already showed you other title pages in the beginning of the video, but I'm going to come up with a theme for June. Probably, I think I'll do a sunshine. I don't think I've done that before, or not a sunshine, is there anything special in June, like a holiday? No, I think I'll just do a sun and like a sunshine. Here we can use gold and orange. Tell me in the comments, what color was the sun when you were a kid and like you colored it? Was it yellow or orange? Because I think it's yellow, but apparently some people think it's orange. I'm gonna use both. I think I'll do the like main circle of the sun as gold, and then I'll do the rays as orange. So I think I had meant to like kind of just chat with you guys as I was doing this instead of talking so much about books, but whatever. Anyway, kind of one thing I wanted to chat about is reading slumps. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced reading slumps, but I'm in one, and I've been in one for a while, kind of since April. In March, I have a video on it. I did a TBR video to kind of encourage myself to read more and like look forward to reading the next book, because it was going to be a surprise and I didn't have to think about it, and that really helped for the month of March. And then April, I didn't do anything, and I think I only read like 2 books or something. Yeah, I only read 2 books in April and then 3 books in May. And I know for some of you guys, like, that's a pretty big deal, like that doesn't seem like too big of a slump. Last year I averaged like 5 or 6 books a month. And it didn't take me 10 days to get through a 400-page book. And so I've been feeling really discouraged recently. Well, not just recently, actually, like since April. That it's been taking me like so long to get through books that I used to fly through. And I realized like it's because I'm in a reading slump. And I had kind of said that in my TBR video in March, like in January and February, but honestly I really just put that slowdown in reading progress. I had blamed it, or not blamed it, but I guess, yeah, blamed it on the fact that I had moved countries and I was settling in and I was figuring out how to be like a part-time university student. And so like it was really easy to just put it on other things. Now like I've actually really had to think about, it's the start of summer. I haven't been in classes for like 3 weeks now, 2 or 3 weeks. I have a lot of time on my hands. Why am I not reading so much? Honestly, like I have a lot of personal, really big decisions going on in my life right now. And I think some of it is my brain is so concentrated on that I won't allow myself to take a break and read. I think I just really let stress take over, I guess. I'm a very anxious person. And so I've just it's been really hard to like talk about it because literally my whole channel is about reading and like book reviews, and I have felt terrible that I'm just doing these little videos where I'm not going in depth about books. I'm enjoying them, I like filming them, and I like the feedback I receive, but I feel like I'm somewhat doing an injustice to my subscribers because I'm not like putting out reading reviews or like book reviews or reading vlogs every week like I used to. I'm doing a lot more just simple like small videos, So I think that's just kind of where I'm at, and like I know you guys like don't care. I mean, some of you are probably disappointed, but I know you'll say like it's fine and stuff. But just having to come to terms with where I am like mentally when it comes to reading has been difficult. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm having a mental crisis or anything. I'm just having to think about a lot of things that I really didn't think I was going to have to think about at all. Oh, let me show you the title page I created while talking about all of that. It's pretty simple compared to some of my others, but I really like it. I think it's cute. And then I think for July, I'm going to do the word July in like a tent because I am going to summer camp during July. I will have some pre-filmed videos for that. Do not fear. But yeah, I think that is what July is going to be, just because I am going to summer camp. I'm not actually staying in tents, but whatever. It's cute. So thank you guys for coming to this ramble session. I have enjoyed it. Please take away that, I'm going to stay here on YouTube. Things are just really different in my personal life, and I'm not going through a lot, but I kind of am just coming to terms with the fact that things are really different now. And so I think some of it has maybe bled into the way I am presenting on the channel. But I love you guys so much. I don't say that like near often enough, but I love you guys and I love your support, and I just love chatting about books with you, so we can totally keep that up. Let me know your thoughts on this video if you keep a book bullet journal too, what you thought about my layout, all of those things I could add in the future. We shall see. I have some other things that I do with this book bullet journal that I would love to do, and maybe a part 2 to this video. Maybe we can do more of these chatty sit downs more often. But I have like nearly 40 minutes of footage now that I need to edit. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video, whatever that is. Until then, bye!